Welcome back to another exciting installment of green-haired rodents get smashed and whatnot. Here is Mind the Step, Mayhem 28. So, this is a single lemming level, and what we have to do is basically dig, build, and then we don't have a floater, so I think we're going to drop onto this. What do we have? We got bashers, diggers, and that's it. So we can, I guess, dig out part of this and then build at the end so he turns around. Then build over here. Build through all this. Where do we want to clear this up? We're going to have to try to reach like up here somewhere, I think, and bash through this. And then there's a hidden trap here that we have to build over. So let's just go ahead and get to it. We're going to start by digging up here. Since we can't float. That should be okay right there. I made a poor life choice last week that's going to impact everything that I do for, I don't know, the next couple months or so, at least. Against my better judgment. He will fall there. I think that's a fall. I think he'll land right on top of where we need to land. We can always just dig him through. You know, let's be safe and dig him through. But yeah, last week... Oh, I didn't dig him through. And that was a mistake. I should have dug him through. Last week, for the first time in over a decade, I decided to watch the first episode of the new season of Survivor. This is a show that I was obsessed with for years. How is this gonna work here, actually? I think we need to dig him right on the edge so he can dig with 1 pixel left to build and turn around. No, that's not good. Oh, wait, no, that's fine. That worked. I can't believe that worked, but yeah, he can go full bridge there, it'll be fine. Survivor is a reality TV show that it's in its 39th season now, is the one that I started watching. They've been doing 2 seasons a year since 1999 or something. And I watched about half of those over the years. I got started watching this show in season, I want to say 8. Yeah, it was season 8. Oh, now I'm rethinking. Maybe season 7 was Pearl Islands and season 8 was All Stars. But anyway, around there. It's been a long time. And, like, the pop culture kind of response to Survivor has always emphasized the survival aspects of it. The aspects where you have to, like, live on an island, and you only get to eat rice and bugs, and that's never been what is interesting. Excuse you! Go ahead. There you go. There's a buddy. That's not it. Wow. Getting these digs to line up. Very Traxy indeed. There we go. That looks right. So we're going to end up going through this and then digging down and through this and digging down and through this and digging down. We need to get into here at some point. Not really sure how we're going to do it. We're just going to have to wing it. That's never been what interested me about Survivor, though. Because the other aspect of Survivor is that it's a game. It's an actual game that people have to play. The idea is you put like 20 people on this island. They're in 2 teams. Or tribes. And You have to compete in usually a physical challenge, like on Double Dare, but with less gack. And whichever team loses has to go to Tribal Council, and they all have to vote for somebody in their tribe, and then whoever receives the most votes leaves the game. We have to be ready to bash here. That looks good. Then we gotta dig down a little bit. Looks like we'll seal up right there. Excellent. And then this process repeats over and over and over until only one person is left in the game, and that person is the sole survivor, and what they win is they win $1 million. This game takes about a month to play, usually. Maybe a little more than a month, like 39 days or so, I think is a typical season. So it's going to be tricky over here. I'm not sure where I want to break through here. You know what, let's actually try doing it up here. There was no pixel in which he could put down even a single block right there. That's a shame. We're going to have to dig down first then. Right? That's actually perfect. He just needed 1 pixel of headroom. That's it. And now I can even let him turn around safely because this is sealed. But I don't need to. We can just go ahead and get through this. Awesome. It's always been the gameplay of Survivor that's always fascinated me because the social dynamics, you cannot ignore the social dynamics. Most games you have to ignore the social dynamics. If you don't, you're kind of not playing the game properly. We need to make a seal up top there, you know what I mean? Looks like it's going to be 3 bridges there, and then 1 bridge over this, and then 1 right here. And that's the last of the bridges. So we can use as many bridges here as we need to turn them back around. But I think this looks right here. I'll give you an example of what I mean. There's a story that I tell all the time about Apples to Apples, and why it's one of my least favorite games. We were playing Apples to Apples, me and my dear lady wife, and my brother, and his girlfriend at the time. And the way Apples to Apples works is one person will play a card. He's going to turn around here. Yeah. We're going to force him to seal up there, though, I think. One person plays a card. The card has a word on it. He's going to turn around again. Yeah. And then everybody else at the table plays a card from their hand that they think best associates with the word of the card that was played. And then everybody kind of votes on which was the best. No, in Apples to Apples, you don't vote on which was the best. It's just a matter of whoever's turn it is gets to pick who is the best. And the social dynamic of the game is such that you can ignore all of the... God, this is going to take a lot of builders to make this happen. I gotta let him walk all the way back now. This is not going well. This is a difficult seal to make, and I can't make it any lower. I mean, I could, but there's no place along this stepped ceiling that's going to be easier to make the seal. But this should do it here. Hopefully now he can bash through that safely. I've used up all of my builders now. So we're playing, and this lady that my brother was dating at the time plays something like The American Dream. Ooh, you know, you're not going to make it, are you? God, he's not going to make it. That seal's not going to work at all. We have to completely backtrack that. Which means we have to start this from a different spot. Let's start this from maybe a step down. I can't seal up against this wall, can I? Like, if I came all the way down to the bottom? No, I'm way too low then. And I can't get through this metal anyway. Yeah, so I can't bash through this. There's metal in the way. I do have to build over this. Her card's like the American Dream. And I literally had in my hands the Statue of Liberty. By the rules of the game, this should have won. Like, nobody else had anything good. A lot of times in Apples to Apples, you try to make people laugh. If you don't have a good card that matches, you try to go like with the funniest or whatever, and then the person who played the card can use whatever criteria they want. But some matches, I think, are just so perfect that if you're going by the rules of the game, and you have to pick the best fit, like, what incentive do you have to... He's not going to seal this up either. We're going to have to force him to seal this up. What I'm going to do down here, actually, is spend a basher. Okay, I want to make a little turnaround space so he's not going all the way back to the wall over there. Because I know that there are Apples to Apples fans out there, there are people that like the game that will defend it as, oh, but you can pick whatever criteria you want. But if the criteria aren't known, then it's not really a game then, because you can't try to win. All you can try to do is have a good time, which is fine, but now what you're doing is like a social activity and not really a game. That's always been my problem with Apples to Apples. I play Statue of Liberty. My wife, who we married, I think Peanut and I were married at that time, played a disco ball as her card. And this woman my brother was dating notoriously didn't like me and didn't want me to ever win, and knew that when I played games I liked to win. I mean, he's gonna fall. Yep. That seal wasn't perfect. I wonder if I can... Looked like I was 1 pixel off. I wonder if I can stretch the bridge out a little bit. Because I have to seal up against the bottom of this brick here, not against the top of this one. This looks like it might do it. So yeah, I had the perfect card, but at every single round she didn't want me to win, so she picked Disco Ball for her card, which was the American Dream. Even though the Statue of Liberty is literally the place where the American Dream is written down. The actual place. Now, I'm not saying don't have fun with Apples to Apples there, we're through, got it. If that's your game, if that's your jam, baby, go ahead and do it, but I think any pretense that it's a game is shattered when you have somebody at the table who would prefer to indulge in the social dynamics rather than look at the rules of the game. That's what I mean by when you want to play a game seriously, most games, you have to ignore the social dynamics of it and just play the game by the rules. My feeling is that if there are social dynamics in play that make you want to not play the game well, then you and the people you're playing with probably have issues that you guys need to work out before you sit down to play a game. This philosophy is especially true with me because I play a lot of Dungeons & Dragons. You don't play D&D with people that you don't like. It doesn't work. Because that's another game. You really can't ignore the social dynamic. It is a very social game. I rescued 100% of the Lemmos. Save me, Mayhem 29. We can kill 20 of these jerks today. Oh, I remember this level. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to have to build way up over here. Like, way up over here. Put a blocker at the end. Build way up over here. Dig, and then bash through this wall. What's the drop height look like? We're fine. And then we get over here, there's actually 1 pixel of space on each of these where we can put a builder out and turn him into a blocker. So we're going to use a couple of blockers and builders to get over them. So you need to build. You need to block, sir. You need to block, sir. So he's going to go way out here. But games like Survivor, you can't ignore the social dynamics, because the social dynamics are the game. The rule of the game says all of the people on your team will vote to see who leaves the game next. And if you leave the game, you lose. I think I'm going to build out 4. Might be good. Yeah, 4. And then we'll turn him into a blocker at the end up here. So the people that are choosing for you to lose, there's no criteria by which they can do that. It's just, essentially, it's an arbitrary decision. Get over this blocker now. The question is, I've got to release enough people over here to make all this work. I'm not sure the actual number, though. I also took a big risk today because I let my dogs just out in the house. That looks like it should be fine there, yes? And right now my Chihuahua is going insane. So my Chihuahua, dearest Rydia, does not understand the social dynamics of me trying to record. This is... No, that's a fast forward button. I don't want that. Drop height's going to be an issue here, actually. Is drop height going to be an issue here? I think we're fine right here. No, we're not. Not even close. Everybody's dead. Okay, then. Very good. I think that's how much we want to build, honestly. I think we do. We don't have any bombers, though, to act as easily get rid of these blockers as part of the problem. Yeah, we have to build over the blockers. We don't have a choice, but wait a minute. I know what we can do. We can build over the blocker, but have somebody else dig through the bridge so nobody else comes through. To get a second guy out here for the second bridge. That's what we're going to have to do. That's fine. Okay, let's go ahead and pump this release rate. Alright. Let's make sure we get this right. So he's going to build up and through. That should do it. No! Why didn't that work? It half worked. It almost worked. Let's try a little earlier. That didn't work at all. I see the problem here, though. I see what I've done incorrectly. The problem is way back here. I need more space between my blockers here. I think. Let's put him a little closer here. Let's put the other guy way up by the edge over here. Pump that release rate. Release rate doesn't really matter. I can pick a guy going left or right. Of course, this is a 50-50 shot if you don't have, like, the bridge icon showing which way we're going and you don't have a directional button to pick. What was I talking about? I was talking about Survivor and it being a social game. And the social dynamics of the game change from season to season. Some seasons, you get voted out because your tribe doesn't like who you are as a person. Some seasons, you get voted out because it's just strategically the best move for the other people on your tribe. And then when you get to the end of the game, the last 9 or so people that get voted out form a jury. And okay, I've got to dig here, but I can't dig with my builder. I got to dig with a walker. That looks good. We done dang did it, kids. Beautiful. Okay, so now we're going to build from here up to up to the Iron. Whew. Okay, we got one guy out of there. Beautiful. And it's always fascinating to watch people make strategic decisions or strategic blunders. Or, like some seasons, is it appropriate to let emotion enter into your decision-making? Or is it not on this season? In some seasons, you're going to be up against a jury who gets to vote which person wins. Some seasons it's good to be seen as the person who played the game the hardest. Some seasons it's good to be like the person who played the game the friendliest. It just depends on the social dynamics of this particular season. Alright, so this guy's going to work horses all the way through here. He's going to end up like building here and then block. We need a second guy through here. So essentially we're going to do this mess again. I could have done this a little lower and sealed up with this would have been better for my purposes, but that's okay. We can seal up over against this wall, I think is safe, once we get the peoples over this far. We are low on time, though. We want to make sure that we don't run out of time. But yeah, it was the gameplay of Survivor that always interested me. I mean, obviously, the editors of the show do a good job of making sure there's storylines to follow and making sure there's characters, and I don't harbor any illusions that what we actually see in the program is the, like, actual game that happened. To some degree, that's the case, because if it's, I mean, there's been allegations that Survivor has been fixed ever since Survivor's been a thing, but in the U.S., at least, that runs up against some pretty hefty federal laws. So if you're going to make a show like that, where there's going to be a winner of a prize... Where's my drop height be at? I gotta come a little bit lower. I gotta come almost to the last pixel here. That should still be okay, even if that doesn't seal up. We're going to roll with it. Okay, I need to start getting my next guy out now. Yeah, in the US at least, if you're going to do a show that's going to have a winner like that, and you want the fix to be in, like you want a particular person to win, it would be easier just to film the hundreds and hundreds of hours of footage and then edit it together so it looks like the most interesting player won. Or whatever, and I think that's what Survivor does. I think that's what Survivor has always done. I might just be able to pop a blocker here and get let my second guy through. So let me double check this. I need one guy here, one guy here. So I need one blocker, and I need them to build over the blocker. Who's going to reach their target first? Probably these guys over here. Alright, so let's get a blocker ready. So I want you to be a blocker. And I want you to be a blocker. 2 guys come through, but that's okay. One of them can die. That's fine. And then once I think this guy starts his build, we're going to go build over this blocker. And this should be enough room for everybody else. And we should come in right under time. Should be fine. We do have to catch this exact pixel, though. If we don't catch this exact pixel, we're doing it all over again. Fortunately, we have a frame-by-frame advance that we're going to make use of. Frame by frame advance. Excellent. He only needs to build a couple of steps, and he can be a blocker. And let's get over here. Free the horde. One of these guys is just going to die. There's just nothing. Oh, you know what? I could probably save him. I need only one more builder. So yeah, you know what? We can probably save this guy, actually. Oh, there was 3 of them. Oh my god, there's 10 of them! Wait, what? No. This is not going to do it all. I didn't realize there were 10 guys stacked up there. There's 6 there, and there's 9 total here. So 8 of these guys die. 9, 10, 11, 12. I think we'll still come under par. Like, we still have this. I don't have another blocker. I just realized we used too many blockers. What does this mean? We have to... I can't use 2 blockers here, so I do have to actually go all the way back to this, and he has to start a little bit lower. I do need him to seal up against this. Arg. Okay. But yeah, if you wanted to fix a game show, a reality show like Survivor, you're better off just actually making the program and then editing it together to tell whatever story you want. I think that's how the producers actually function for this show. We're not going to get up that. I'm going to come from right here, I think. Yeah, because I came from right at the blocker the first time and I went too high. I actually do need to seal up against this, or else the solution does not work. So you imagine, they have to edit down to, it's 13 episodes a season. You got to get down to 13 hours of footage from hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours you must have of 20 people over the course of over a month. You can tell whatever story you want. You can make anything look like anything when you've got that much footage. That is going to seal good. So I don't have any illusion that... Where can I get out of here? From back there. That's good. So we're going to have to use the same trick. One blocker, and then they're going to walk all the way back to this guy, and then we'll build and dig over them, is how we're going to have to do it. So the first guy's got to be a blocker. There's 11 guys right there, though. Like, how? So this is... We lose a bunch of guys here. That's all there is to it. Like 5 guys are just gonna... These 5 guys here are just lost. I can lose 20, though. See you later. Even if they hadn't... Yeah, even if that hadn't happened, I still would have lost them anyway, because they would have been on the wrong side of this. Okay. Let's do this again. So yeah, people have been making allegations that the show has been rigged ever since the show's been around. In fact, there have been a couple of past contestants, people that came in like 2nd and 3rd place, that were like, oh, what the show showed wasn't what actually happened, like the producers are lying. Like, yeah, they're producers. It's their show. Nope, that's too... Well, this might work. That's fine. I'll live with that. Alright, let's build... Let's get ready to build up and over these guys here. Remember, we want to start building, but we want to dig afterwards. I don't have a digger. What am I going to do? I got 2 more blockers and I got to use them both. I mean, just hope that one, like this guy here, just... Okay, we do have... He's our savior. That'll actually work. The space between that guy and the rest of the mob will make this work for us. So everybody's walking towards the exit now. We're not blocking anybody else. Here's Mr. Schnoz coming up the rear. So he's going to be my second blocker. This guy's life is forfeit. Well, there might be enough space to actually save them. Because I only need to put down maybe 1 or 2 stairs and it's fine. What ended up happening, though, with Survivor was, for a lot of seasons in a row, they really emphasized, like, the strategic game. Like, they showed people making good moves, and they showed those moves, even if they weren't the moves that I would have made, still being basically good moves. Like, it's strategically interesting. So each season, the way they edited it, it looked like the best players mostly got to, like, the second half of the game, and then from there, it was very interesting watching the various alliances and strategies shift out from under people. But then they had a couple seasons in a row where they edited, like, it felt like they purposely picked the dumbest Americans alive to put on their show. And the way it was edited, it looked like nobody was making strategically interesting decisions. It was just characters doing stuff. And that's it. Everybody's home now. Whew, what a level. What a level, sir. And now we just blow all the blockers up. Goodbye. There was one season in particular, Survivor Nicaragua. They used to theme every season after... Oh, it's Rendezvous at the Mountain. This is the final Mayhem level. Nowadays, they theme the seasons after gameplay gimmicks. But it used to be they themed it based on location. What am I doing here? We got lots of stuff. I don't think a climber can come up this. How many do I think? I gotta save 20. I can kill 20, sorry. That little sign is actually there. We've got a trap there. Here's the mountain we gotta go to. There's another trap. There's another trap. So we gotta build over this trap. Lemmings are gonna get stuck here, but I think they'll climb all the way up here, which is good. We can use blockers to force everybody in. We got some steel there. We got a trap here we've got to build over. How am I getting through this mess? I don't think a climber is going to make it up here. We're going to have to put a blocker on the edge there. There's nothing for it. Can bash through this, but then I'm stuck against these arrows. Arrows! I could bomb through it, I guess, but then I'm blowing up a bunch of guys and wasting a bunch of builders that I might not have. What's the drop height look like? Deadly. Thought so. Huh. I guess we just have to see if a climber... I don't think a climber will get up this, because there's lots of little overhangs. Like, yeah, there's no way a climber gets up that. Then... So what I can think is, like, you can build up to this and then bomb through it, and then build up again and bomb through again. That would do the trick. Probably 4 bombers and 4 builders. Is what it would take. Where's this trap at? Very well hidden. We gotta get over that first. I think we're gonna place a blocker first. I gotta have a plan through this wall, though. I've got all the jobs. The question is, I'm not getting anybody up this wall. That's not happening. I could build up and then bash through and then build up to, like, seal here and bash through, but that's death height there. I actually want one guy up and over. But how do I even get one guy up and over then? It also has a lot of builders. I mean, there's a lot of builders either way. So I think we're going to be building from way back here, actually. Like, yeah, it's just builder-tastic, the level. Okay. Let's see if my man is ready to build over here. Yeah, just about. Where's that trap at? There it is. Build over that. That seems pretty secure. Okay. We need to build from, like, back here, I think. We may well run out of builders. Okay, you're going to be a blocker, sir. Let's make sure they get up over this. I think that side is safe, because I think they'll come over here and get turned around. Let's see how my builder's doing. Got plenty of time. Alright, so the idea is I want him to build up, and then he can float down and turn around, and he can bash through and bash. Is what we're going to do. So I don't need to rebuild this, I just need to dig through it so people don't start splatting off of it. Let's go back and see how... We have Team A and Team 1. Oh, we're going to see if these guys actually do get turned around here. Because if not... Okay, we're fine. I think we'll start bashing them through. I got a builder here I need to do something about. Okay. I want a blocker here. Everybody should be stuck now, so let's go ahead and pump the release rate to 99. This is really tight, because I'm going to make him a builder in a frame here. That's good. And then this guy is going to need to start building. I'm going to start building right from here back, like way back here. Yeah, we're going to start way back there. And it's just a matter of keeping an eye on the builders now. I literally don't have enough time to go back and forth without pausing. Whew! Almost bought that farm right there. I do have to make... This is a death drop. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to... I got 3 dig... Yeah, we're going to dig, and then bash, and then build. And that side should be done. This side over here is more complicated. Okay, that seals up. We have to really make sure he doesn't turn around, though. Like, as soon as that seal is good... It's not what we wanted to happen there. He's going to turn around, and I don't have any way to get him back up over this. I guess I can use another builder here. You know what? No, this actually is fine. We'll let that happen. Back over here. Not going 100% well. It's not going according to plan. It's not going badly. It's just not going according to plan. We need you to dig. Oh, I don't like... Okay, this guy here. Yeah. This is my boy. This is my boy here. Is he going to get up over that? Or do I have to dig from... Like, start building from way back here? So it seals with the very top. I might have to do this whole level over again. What's my plan here, Jack? I might just bomb through this wall, to be perfectly honest. This is such a weird shape for a wall here, though. Like, he won't climb this. Let's just double check. Let's make sure. Oh, he just walks up it. Never mind. He's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. He's need to float the other side, though. And then this sign should turn him around, I shouldn't think. Looks like he goes all the way through. Okay, so he's going to pound his way all the way through that wall. That was not the correct thing to do. That was a basher, not a builder. Alright. How are we doing over here? Still bashing? No, he's not bashing. Oh, we must have rewound back to before I gave the bashing issue. Oop, no, I don't want him to bash all the way to the end, though. I might just have to stop him from bashing at some point. Because, look, he wants to go all the way through the whole end of the level over there. We need to let him not do that. He's working his way, as you do. Alright, now I need you to dig and bash through this wall. How much progress have we made over here? We're almost through. Excellent. This is exactly what I want to see. Okay. This trap, we can just have somebody build over it. I don't think I need to block anybody. I think that's fine to let that go for a second. Maybe not, because Digger doesn't need any help anyway. We need to stop you. Get rid of this sign. So a couple guys are going to get caught in the trap. One guy got caught in the trap. That's fine. And then we want these guys to start building from, I think, here. This guy can go ahead and bash now. We're not up this hill. This could be a problem. So, damn it. We're gonna really need to be careful here. You know what? I can just make you a blocker. You know what? This was dumb. Building over this was a dumb idea. Shoot. Alright, let's go back to here. I want you to bash through this trap, I think. Where do we need to bash from? Get rid of the sign. That should do it. How many guys are going to die in the trap, though, is the question. I can lose 20 of them. I don't think there's 20 of them to lose here, though. Let's just let that go. We're coming down here. Okay, so this side should be done. They should walk all the way up. So we're going to blow my man up in the middle of the mountain there. That side should be done. And looks like we didn't lose anybody to the trap, which is amazing. Alright, we need one more climber. I already had a climber. So, I guess this climber is just going to die here. That's fine. Alright, we are starting to win the level. Just gonna take a minute. I meant to spend the entire hour plus whatever, however long the video ends up being, talking about Survivor. But this is such intense lemming on lemming action right now. The idea for this level is you're supposed to have two groups of lemmings meeting up at the mountain in the middle, like rendezvous at the mountain, but I've never actually got them to line up like that, because one side of this board is so much more complicated than the other side. How are we going to get everybody through here? I guess I hadn't really thought about it yet. Which way are you going? Let's go ahead and bash into that preemptively. I got a few more blockers I can use. I think he'll bash through this and have one pixel with which to walk up here, and I can put a blocker here and then a blocker here. That'll get everybody turned around. Yep. Working as planned. Perfect. This is looking kind of jank, but... So now I need to seal this up here. Facing right. Actually, facing left would also work, I think. Excellent. That works perfectly. Just need a blocker here. And I think that solves everybody else. We good, kids? We're good. Here's Mr. Schnoz going the wrong direction as always. And you might be thinking, Brickroad, this is the last level of the last difficulty of Lemmings. Is this the end of the Let's Play series? I assure you, friends and enemies. Do I have any enemies watching this? I like to think I don't really have any enemies, but who knows? There might be somebody out there who's just seething all the time. I assure you, this is not the end of Lemmings. And maybe the rest of the levels that I play in this video will be easy enough that I could actually talk about the thing that I wanted to talk about today in my video. Mr. Schnoz, way in the back as always. We don't need you anymore. Don't need you anymore. Don't need you anymore. Nobody else over here. Oh, here you are. Come on, Mr. Schnoz. Bring it on home, buddy. In a way, Mr. Schnoz is the sole survivor. Because he's the only lemming that always wins. He's the only lemming that always gets out alive. Mr. Schnoz is always in the back. Alright, so we get a nice... back to just dig, but no, we're not going to do just dig. I closed down the game. Ah! It's fine, I reopened the game. And now it's Oh No More Lemmings. And instead of having 4 difficulties with 30 levels each, this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 difficulties with 20 levels each. So let's go ahead and play Oh No More Lemmings. I think the idea here, instead of introducing us to basic Lemmings concepts, first of all new graphics sets, all new music for Oh No More Lemmings. But yeah, instead of starting the first difficulty setting out with levels that teach us basic concepts of the jobs, it's just really easy levels where they load you up with jobs. So the next 20 levels or so should be nice and breezy. So after the rendezvous at the mountain, the Lemmings go to the brick factory. As you do. Oh, they changed the end of level text too. Wow, you saved every lemming. Totally excellent. Gotta get all these lemmings out. But yeah, a couple seasons of Survivor in a row. Getting back to the topic. Now that I don't have to think about lemmings so hard anymore. Where, like, I don't want to watch dumb people being dumb in Survivor. You know what I mean? Like, that's most reality TV out there. And if you like reality TV, that's fine. Everybody likes their whatever. Everybody has their guilty pleasures. Everybody gets their jollies some way or another. A lot of reality TV is watching awful people be awful, but Survivor to me was always a game. And so when you had a couple seasons in a row where the editors really played up these are awful people being awful, and there's not a lot of strategic gameplay, it soured me on the show. But this season, season 39, I made a bad life decision to start watching it again. And the reason is, a lot of Survivor seasons are comeback seasons. What I mean by that is, they'll take somebody who's already played the game before and bring them back to play again. And Survivor is a game with a learning curve, but the learning curve typically means you lose the game. You know what I mean? Like, in Survivor, if you make a mistake, you get voted out, that's it. You don't get to, like, refine your technique. Like in a Lemmings level, when I screw something up, I get to try again. In Survivor, you don't get to try again. But what we've seen with these comeback seasons, beginning with season, I think, 8, was All-Stars, and then a couple seasons since. Sometimes they bring back all contestants who have played before. Sometimes they mix and match new contestants and old contestants who are coming back. But you can see the people coming back leveling up their game, getting better at playing. So there's one guy in particular, Boston Rob, who is kind of a reality star on NBC, or was 10 years ago or so. Oh, Mr. Schnoz, you made it to Oh No. Glad to have you here, buddy. Thanks for coming. Boston Rob played his first season really badly. He played his second season, which was All-Stars, which was one of the first seasons that I watched, really well. It came in second place. And then the first place winner was his girlfriend, who he ended up marrying. He came back and played again a third time after the Survivor meta had changed a whole lot. And he wasn't really sure. What's my drop height look like here? I think we're fine here. We're going to be using minors, I think. You know what? We're going to pop the release rate. We have no reason to be shy about the release rate. None of these levels are going to be a challenge at all. Nice, breezy levels. Watch me die horribly now. But eventually Rob came back for a fourth season, and he won that season. And you could see how he was getting better as a player over time. The other person that I really liked as far as coming back was a woman named Sandra. Sandra played... She was actually invited to play in All-Stars, but she had just played the previous season and got really sick from something and wasn't able to play. But she won that season. She was on a season with like all like big gorilla guys, like alpha male types. And she won the season, having never won a challenge, just by being... basically by reading people really well and knowing when to cut the throats and when not. And she was kind of devious and underhanded, but it was kind of necessary in her first season. And then they eventually brought her back for a comeback season called Heroes vs. Villains, where she got to play with Boston Rob a little bit. But she won that season too. She's the only player ever to win the game twice. I think they did bring her back for a third season. I think they did a season with all previous winners. Well, no, they couldn't have, because then she wouldn't be the only one who's ever won twice. But no, they brought her back a third time. I don't know what season, I didn't watch it. But she lost that season in a kind of funny way. In a kind of, I've already won twice, so I knew this was coming kind of way. The gimmick for this season, 39, is there's no... Where am I going? Oh, just over there. Okay. Let's go ahead and get you mining. Get you mining right here is fine. Nobody's coming back. Boston Rob and Sandra are not allowed to play. What they do is they live out on an island called the Island of the Idols. And so the season of all 20 new contestants is playing now. And once per episode, one of these contestants get voted to go visit the Island of the Idols, where Boston Rob and Sandra have set up Survivor Boot Camp. So somebody who makes a mistake in the game gets sent out to the Island of the Idols instead of losing the game entirely after one mistake, which is Survivor Mr. Schnoz going entirely the wrong way. I love him. He's my favorite. He's my Lemmings mascot. Where would I be without Mr. Schnoz? Instead of being ejected from the game after one mistake, now you have the opportunity to have two of the best people to ever play the game kind of show you what's up. And I thought, okay, this is a good enough gimmick for this season. It's not a comeback season, so I don't have to worry about acclimating to all these characters. The editors assume that I already know. It's not completely unfamiliar people, though, because I do have Boston Rob and Sandra, who I love, but I don't want to actually watch them play. It's just nice to see them in the episodes being Boston Rob and Sandra, so I enjoy that. Other than that, it's all new contestants. I'm like, alright, I'm going to bite the bullet on this. My Netflix is dried up anyway. I don't have anything to watch. I'm going to go ahead and... the bug is back. I mean, you know what? These guys are going to turn around and walk all the way back this way, aren't they? They are. So what we're going to do is... I guess that's not necessary, really. Oh, we got to build up. What am I doing? I've got to build up here. There you go. So only one episode has aired so far. I think the second episode's coming out. I think it airs Wednesday night, so I typically watch it on Thursday. And I have to say, somewhere along the line, they went back to picking out real contestants, because I think they have a lot of real players this season. I don't think it's just going to be awful people being awful. Typically, the first episode, they have like a really tough obstacle course challenge. Just a meat grinder of an athletic challenge where people just get beaten up and bruised and thrown in the sand and dragged up walls. And then there's a puzzle at the end you have to solve. Like, after you've run this gauntlet and just turn yourself into ground chuck, now you got to do this puzzle. It's very standard first challenge of the season to be that. And usually they highlight a couple of people who do really poorly in the challenge. But that wasn't the case this season. I think this is actually fine. Yeah, this is fine. Everybody wins. Okay. No problem. But this season they didn't do that. Again, I haven't watched in many seasons. I think season 24 or 25 was the last one that I watched, so it's been a long time. Either they got away from that style of editing, like, oh, let's show who the butt monkeys are in the challenge. It looked like all the contestants were doing their best in the challenge. Everybody brought their A game. Just at the end, one tribe got the puzzle a little faster than the other. And they didn't play up this whole angle of, oh, I lost the challenge, so I'm out of the game now. So I think we have a lot of good players this season. And we've got this nice little twist where Boston Rabbit and Sandra are going to teach people how to play. So, am I getting obsessed again? I mean, maybe? It's real easy to get obsessed with Survivor. And that's why I say maybe this is a bad life choice. That's a seal. A lot more pixel perfect measurements in Oh No More Lemmings. Playing this without a rewind or a frame advance function, I don't understand how people did it back in the day. That's a seal. I tried playing this game, actually, back in the day. I had a CD-ROM that had Lemmings and Oh No More Lemmings, and I got through Lemmings, which has a couple of aggravating levels, as we've seen, but Oh No More Lemmings is much higher concentration. Oh, did you pick the wrong pixel? I know there are levels that you have to make the release rate go up and then down and then up again to make chunks of Lemmings in certain areas. It gets very, very technical in ways that I don't think are great for Lemmings gameplay, but the version of the game that I have has frame advance and rewind and all the good stuff, so when we remove those elements from the game, which in my opinion are degenerate forms of gameplay for Lemmings anyway, like it's not fun to figure out how to solve a level and then be at the mercy of a 50-50, oh, is my basher going to go left or right? I don't know and I have no way to tell. When you remove those elements from the game, I think it becomes a lot better. That's how I first completed Oh No More Lemmings. I don't know, 10 years ago or so now. I had a version that had the rewind and everything with its... Was that Lemon Eye? Must have been Lemon Eye. Because we're just going to go up over this. That's going to seal. We're good. It's going to pump the release rate. This is a death drop, yeah, so we're not going to bash through there. We're going to mine from over here and come down like here. That'll be great. That'll be just peachy keen if you don't mind. The other way it could go is maybe it was just an uncommonly good first episode and I just missed like the idea of Survivor in my life for so long, and just seeing Boston Rob and Sandra again, two of my favorite players. Ooh, is that good? Yeah, we're good. We can go from there. And I'm just like blinded by it, and it was just an uncommonly good first episode, and the rest of the season's going to be Garbo. I don't know. Go either way. Could really go either way. We are not fine. So all we're going to do is we're going to mine from further back. Like that. Should do the trick. Should be the gangsta right there. Little incongruities like that. Like, oh, this little notch in the wall is what killed me. More or less. Now we're good. No problem. These two guys are... They're going to go ahead and set the table. Like, one of them's going to go ahead and get a cheese plate put out. One of them's going to go ahead and get some music put on. I imagine Lemmings listen to Green Day. I mean, they got green hair and it was the 90s, so... Ah, good old Mr. Schnoz. I could have killed him and turned this one into Mr. Schnoz. But... I suppose we couldn't do that. I suppose that would be too bad. But Survivor runs for 13 weeks. So, it's possible. I will try. I will try. I try to keep each of these stupid, obsessive topics I talk about in my hour-long weekend videos localized to just one video. Because I realize nothing turns off a viewer faster than hearing about something they don't care about video after video after video. But I can make no promises. It's possible that I get completely obsessed and you guys are going to hear about Survivor some more. Oh, you're not going to walk up that. No problem. Before the end of Lemmings. It's entirely possible. Now, if you do want to hear more about Survivor, I am blogging each episode on my website, skibby.com. There's always a link to skibby.com down in the description. I don't update the website as frequently as I used to, but I did years ago do weekly blogs for Survivor. Every episode talked about what happened in the episode, made fun of all the people a little bit, and then predicted episode by episode who's gonna win. But I started doing that with this season. We'll see how it goes. So if you want to hear me rant about Survivor more, that's where you're gonna have to go, is to skibby.com and read it on there. Citizen Lemming. Should I just go all the way through Tame this video? Because these levels ain't nothing. These levels just ain't shizzle for Rizzle. There's just nothing to them. Like, I'm just bashing 3 times here. And there's only 20 levels in each difficulty. You know, I think we just burn up all of these levels in this video. It'll go a little bit longer. Maybe not. I don't know. 90 minutes, maybe. We'll see. My wife is not watching Survivor with me. I decided not to inflict it upon her. Oh, Mr. Shanaz going the wrong way. Oh, we can turn you around, though. It's fine. He just needed to check that every other Lemming was okay. Mr. Schnoz has a heart of gold. Which is exactly why Mr. Schnoz would not make it on Survivor. Because everybody would vote him out. We'd be like, we don't want to go up against Mr. Schnoz in the final 2, or final 3, or however they do it these days. That's one thing I'm a little worried about going into the season after being away for 15 seasons or so. Is the Survivor metagame you know what? This is going to take 2 builders no matter how I slice it, so no problem. The Survivor metagame evolves over time. I mentioned Boston Rob. He kind of got eaten by the meta his 3rd game. The 3rd game he played was a season called Heroes versus Villains. It was the first, like, entire comeback season in a very long time. So you had a lot of what I would call, like, the old guard of Survivor, like the first 10 or so seasons. You had a lot of people from those seasons, but you had a lot of like the second tier, like the New Kids on the Block seasons. Seasons like 11 through, which one was Heroes versus Villains? I'm not actually sure now. 20 maybe? 20 sounds about good. But a lot of gameplay experiments had been tried in the intervening years. And by the time Boston Rob came back, he even said in that season, like, I don't know what's going on. This game is so different now. And he was right. The meta changes. So part of me is like, how has the meta changed since I stopped watching to now? And I'm kind of interested to see how that goes. Part of that's going to be less of a problem because it's not a comeback season. I don't know any of these contestants, but all of these contestants presumably have watched all of those seasons. And I don't know what experiments have been tried in the intervening time. It's possible none have. It's possible they really dedicated themselves to just, hey, let's bring in a bunch of dumb idiot people that are just awful. The kind of season that Brickroad hates, and we'll just make a bunch of those in a row. And if that's what they did, then the meta hasn't gone anywhere. The meta hasn't had the ability to go anywhere. But I'm curious to see. And I'm even more curious, like, is there a couple of seasons I'm going to have to go back and watch? Like, I would like to see a season, Sandra's third play. Actually, let's lean forward in my chair here. Oh, let's see what the Wikipedia has to say about it. Yeah, they did an all-winners season. Oh, they revealed it. Okay, this hasn't... Season 4, so next season is the all-winners season. Season 40, okay. Oh, well, I gotta pause Lemmings now. I'm sorry, I have to. I'm too... Let's see, who's coming back? Amber Mariano, Boston Rob's wife, who won All-Stars. This is only her third time playing, okay. A bunch of people who've only ever won once. A couple of people I don't know. Ooh, Parvati's coming back. Okay, yeah, she won her second time out. Yeah, she won... No, it was her third time out she won. Heroes versus Villains she won. No, she didn't. Sandra won that. So she must have won her second time out and then lost her third time. Whatever, I'll watch her play again. I like Parvati. Sandra is... Wow, Sandra's doing back-to-back seasons. Well, she's not playing 39, but she's coming back next season. Okay. Survivor Game Changers. Okay, they did a season of Game Changers. Like, people who went into the game and really changed the game up. You're just watching a pause screen of Lemmings and I'm talking about Survivor now. I'm not going to apologize. What do you want me to say? Okay, so she lost... Maybe I'll go back and watch that season. Let's... They did a season called Millennials versus Gen X. Ugh. Ethan hasn't played since All-Stars. That's interesting. You can't bring Boston Rob back to play. Come on. How's that gonna work? How are you gonna have Boston Rob and Amber both playing the same... They're married! They're married for... Yul Kwan from Cook Islands. I loved that season. A lot of people didn't like that season, but I loved it. That was one of the few seasons where I basically, on the first episode, I said, that guy's gonna win, and then he won. So, oh, Yul Kwan. That's gonna be a good season. See, I'm gonna watch that now. I'm gonna have to watch season 40 so I can see how... How are you gonna have Boston Rob and Amber together in a season? That doesn't make any sense. I need to... Stall that guy. I have to close this. I have to close this, or else I'm gonna end up down a rabbit hole that I simply do not have time to go down today. I gotta play Lemmings today. I'm gonna stall some Lemmings so nobody turns around here. Alright, that should be fine, actually. Good times. Alright. So I'll be watching Survivor next season, too. I'm sorry! What can I do? What can I... There's not a pill that I can take to make me not interested in this stupid show right now. I mean, half of those people I don't know because they're from seasons that I didn't watch, so it might be interesting. But I'm very curious to see people, like, they have this guy Ethan coming back. Ethan won in Survivor Africa, which was season 3. He came back for All-Stars, which was season 8, and I think he only made it like halfway through. In that season, I think they brought 4 people back who had won the game already. And They all got voted out super, super early. Like, nobody wanted to see somebody who won win again. I mean, the question in my mind now is, like, does Sandra have any chance of hell winning that season? Because one of two things is going to happen, right? Either somebody else is going to win this all-winners season, and now Sandra has competition. Like, somebody else has won twice. I still think her achievement, even in that case, would be more impressive. Because the season she won her second time was Heroes versus Villains. And not everybody was a winner. And there was still a little bit of a stigma about winners being allowed to win again. And she overcame that stigma over the course of the game. But I would love to see her win a third time. I'm not going to lie. I have to say, though, I'm most interested to see how do you have Boston Rob and Amber in the same season? That doesn't make sense. I need you, because I don't want everybody to get turned around forever. How are we going to do this? We're going to make you a digger. And now we're going to make you a basher. That way everybody gets turned around here. And then I'll go all the way back to Foolsville. They're just going to turn around on this wall here. That's nice. That's nice. That's a good way to do it. Otherwise, Mr. Shanaz would have walked all the way back to the start, and then all the way back again. Oh, we need one more build. We're good. They film 2 seasons a year, and I guess they revealed that over the summer, which is where I must have read about it. Maybe I thought this season was the all-winter season, and that's why I checked back. It gets real confusing if you're not up on the Survivor lore. It's worse than being a comic book nerd, honestly. Because it's kind of like comic books. Like, you get killed off in one season, but they bring you back to life for the next season, and then you win. So you have to take Rob and Amber out early. Like, real early. Like, first tribal council you can, you get rid of Rob or Amber. So they're both, like, right? These are all people who have played this game and have won. So they're not going to let Boston Rob and Amber, like, get far in the season. Surely not. Surely not. I don't know, though. What? Oh, man. So what happens when Lemmings is not engaging my brain for these videos is it starts to wander to all different places. All different places. Mostly just one place, though. Mostly just one place where Survivor is king and I am its court, I guess. I really don't have a lot of wherewithal to go back and watch all the seasons I missed. And you know what? Thinking about it, there were a couple seasons that were just bad. That was true. Like, but that's not really why I quit watching the show, if I'm being honest. Actually, this isn't Steel. It looks like it might be Steel in this tile set, but it's not. But part of what it was, too, is right around that time, there was a couple seasons, they did a couple seasons that were bad, then they did a couple seasons that were okay. They did one really good season in that era. There was the season in Nicaragua, which I rage quit. I couldn't finish watching it. Oh, man. The guy who won that season, his name was Fabio, and he was a moron. He was just an airhead. He was a lovable beefcake man. I loved him. You had to love him. But he was so dumb. Every scene he was in, he was just dumb. He was just this ditzy blonde, like 18 or 19-year-old. Just, I hope he's coming back for this all-winter season. He won that season because nobody in that season knew what they were doing. So the person who was, I guess, least reprehensible out of all of them kind of won by default, maybe? Oh, I'd love to see Fabio come back, I guess. But, well, I meant to bash, not mine there. I guess it doesn't matter, but let's not make a mistake like that in a level where it does matter. But no, around that time, though, they did have some good seasons. Redemption Island was in there. That was a good season. South Pacific was okay. But from season 8 to season, I don't know, 15 or 16 or... Actually, no, 20-something. It was... You tuned in Thursday nights to watch Survivor. Oh, I gotta build up here, I guess. No problem. it was on Thursday night, 8 o'clock, you sat down, you watched Survivor. For many years, what I did is I would log on to IRC, and all my dudes would be on IRC, ready for some Survivor. But then we entered the era of, like, the DVR, and it's like, oh, we have Survivor recorded, now we can watch it whenever. And that sounds better, but what ends up happening, for those of you who weren't, like, cognizant, who weren't, like, functioning adults yet, before the DVR, and then before Netflix even supplanted that, you used to get more invested in a TV show because it was a ritual, like it was something you did the same time every week. When you remove that ritual aspect of it, I still liked Survivor, but I found that I didn't like it enough to, like, when okay, it's Saturday afternoon and I have it recorded on my DVR and I should watch it. I found that I didn't watch it. I found that I would watch something else instead, typically. And so that's kind of how I fell out of Survivor. A lot of it was that the couple seasons in a row just kind of burned me, but no, a lot of it was like, hey, if it's not a ritual anymore, if it's not just the Thursday night thing, an enjoyable thing that I shared with people for an hour or so, I found that I enjoyed it less and less to the point where I stopped tuning in. I didn't stop enjoying it to the point like where I would never go back and watch it, obviously, because I'm going back and watching it now, but are you Mr. Schnoz? Are you the man? You're the man. You just had to check it out. What if there was buried treasure up there? If there was buried treasure up there and Mr. Schnoz didn't go check, that would have been a tragedy for all of Lemmingkind. We should be coming up at the end of Tame now, though. Yeah, this is the last Tame level. And we're just going to solve this in the dumbest way imaginable. We're just going to have people walking all the way around here and just get it done. No problemello. Let's go ahead and get all the peoples out. So that's where I will leave you with all of this discussion. If you don't care about Survivor, that's fine. I'm not going to bring it up in more Lemmings levels. I'm going to try not to anyway. If this season ends up being uncommonly good and I have something I absolutely have to say, I might say it in a Lemmings video. It might come out. I'm only human. I have my foibles and my flaws. I have both foibles and flaws. But if you are interested, I do have my website where I'm going to be blogging my thoughts on each episode as I watch them. You can go either way. You can go neither way. You can go your own way. When we come back, we'll be entering into Crazy 1. That's a good level. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.